Welcome to the Spiritual AI podcast, where we explore the incredible power of our inner intelligence, which I call spiritual AI. Just like a computer uses AI to process data and find solutions, our awareness and intuition can guide us through life with clarity, ease, and purpose. Each week, we'll dive into the transformative tools, spiritual insights, and practical strategies to help you awaken, amplify, and align with your inner power. I'm your host, your friend, your guide, and your fellow student, Leonie. Come and join the awareness and intuition revolution. Today, I'm taking you back to last year when I had another podcast called the Sacred Living Podcast. And I wanted to drop the episodes in here because I didn't really want the interviews and the content that I put on there to kind of just get deleted and go to waste, essentially. So sit back, let's rewind and replay. Hello, beautiful soul. Today on the podcast, I'm going to take you guys down the rabbit hole. I've been sitting thinking about manifesting, and I've been sitting and thinking about beliefs and just thinking about things. So where this all started was actually yesterday morning when I sat down for my meditation in the morning and journaling, and it just popped into my head, and I started thinking about manifesting and our belief systems and just how it's impacting us, and then this thought popped into my head that if a belief is simply a thought that we keep thinking, a belief is a story that we have created for ourselves to either keep us safe or as a story around what others think of us that caused to become a limiting belief, right? If it's just a story, then we should be able to just cancel that story and just take on a new story and run with that, right? Now, I know it goes a lot deeper than that, but then the next thought that popped into my head was, well, hang on. If, for instance, like if you, and we'll use the church and Christianity as an example, right? So if you come into the church and you fully trust and believe everything that they tell you, you take on their belief systems, you take on the laws that they practice, the principles that they practice, you make it fully yours. And then in that moment, I thought, well, what if I took the laws of the universe, those laws and principles that have been tried and tested over time for manifesting and abundance, and I bring them into my life as a fact, as law, as it is the truth, and there's no way of getting around it. What if I brought those laws and what if I brought those principles into my own life and just start taking them on as fact? Like tomorrow morning, the sun is going to rise. It's a fact. Unless there is something huge that's going to happen and, life as we know it is done. What if it's a fact? A fact like the sky is blue, fact. A fact that, grass is green and, the earth is gravity, or a fact. What if? What if I can take those laws and just simply bring them into my life as fact and override the limiting beliefs, override the stories that I have created in my own mind? And that thought in that moment it kind of blew my mind. It kind of set me off on this journey from yesterday till today, over the last day. And I kind of looked into, the laws of the universe, and I looked into the laws of, manifesting, and I kind of dove into those and I was like, what if I take, for instance, a book like A Happy Pocket Full of Money by David David Cameron Gikandi, and I go, I'm going to take his book where he talks about quantum physics and he talks about the laws around manifesting and the law of attraction and the principles and the steps that you can take to call in new things and create your reality. What if I took that book and I made it my Bible, if I can put it this way? What if I took that book and I just took it as law and that it is the truth and there is no ways of getting around it, and I just absorbed it as unequivocal truth? What would that do for me? What would that do to my old stories, my old beliefs? And it's just got me thinking and wondering. And then what I did this morning when I woke up, I was like, dive a little bit deeper. So I had a little look at the different laws. So like there's laws in, for physics around, things like, the law of gravity. There are laws around manifesting. There are laws around abundance. And some of the laws are, you've got the law of attraction and you've got the law of vibration. You've got the law of deliberate creation. So the law of reciprocity. You've got the law of sowing and reaping. So that's the law of cause and effect. You've got all these laws. And I looked at them and I was like, I want to know what are the most common laws that have been written about. People like Napoleon Hill and people like Wayne Dyer and David Cameron Gikandi that I just mentioned. And who's the other one? Joseph Price. People like that. And more recently, people like, Manifestation Babe, Catherine Zinkina. She talks about, obviously, manifestation and the laws around abundance. So I wanted to know who used which laws and which laws have come over have the test of time, the laws that have become a known fact, something that's been consistently observed over time. And I started looking at them and I found 11 laws. And I wanted to bring them to you and I wanted to share them with you, because if we take these laws and we look at, they have been observed and they've been tried and tested over time, then we should be able to take those laws and take them as fact, take them as truth for this lifetime and this reality. Now, these laws that I'm going to work through, 11 of them, might have different names on the internet because I've given these names that kind of just feel right for me, right? Because I'm creating laws for myself that I want to use and test and see whether I can use these laws as absolute truths and help me override my own limiting beliefs, my own blocks, right? Because yes, even though I've been on this journey for a long time, I'm human, and at every layer and every level, there's another layer that I have to work through for my own limiting beliefs and my own patterns around abundance and manifesting. So when I talk about, say, for instance, the law of inner sight, it might be the law of visualization for the rest of the world and on the internet. So the law will be the same. The name that I've given it might be a little bit different, but let's dive into this. So the first law that we have is the law of connected energy. This law tells us that everything is energy. And I'm sure that if you're listening to this podcast, at some point you would have heard that everything is energy. Everything is connected. All aspects of existence, including thoughts and matter, vibration, everything is energy. So understanding that the universe is connected, you are connected to me, I am connected to the plants are connected to the animals, we are all connected in this bigger scheme, in this bigger picture, then you understand the law of connected energy, right? You understand that law. Now, it is fact because scientifically it has been proven that everything is vibration and everything is connected to some degree, right? So that's the first law. Then we can go into the second one, which is the law of infinite abundance. Now, this law is, it says that there is an infinite amount of abundance out there. It is, the universe is infinite. Abundance is infinite. There is more abundance available now than ever. Okay, by recognizing and tapping into this limitless source, we can actually attract and manifest boundless opportunities, wealth, prosperity, and things like that into our life, right? So if we can just accept that law as it is, that the universe is abundant, there is more than enough, then we have got law number 2 down. If we can take that as an absolute truth and start trusting that, that in itself will make a massive difference in our life, in what we manifest and what we draw to us, right? Then law number 3, the law of attraction. Like attracts like, right? The energy that you emit through your thoughts and your feelings attracts similar energy back to you. So there's this resonance that gets created with our desires, but it could be the opposite as well. All right. So if we keep on putting negative thoughts out there, we're going to attract it because that's like attracts like. Then the 4th law is the law of non-resistance. This is the one where we go, the universe knows best. Or, that saying, let go and let God. It is about trusting. It is about letting go of how it comes to us. So if we can start trusting and we let go of our thoughts and we can align our thoughts and our emotions and our actions with our desires, then the universe will bring it back to us. And if we can let go of how and we can let go of the resistance, we are going to receive it so much quicker. Then there's the law of gratitude. And we all know what gratitude is, right? Gratitude says that I've received something. That's the energy that it holds. It says, thank you, right? So when somebody gives you a gift, you're grateful and you say thank you. It means that you have received it. Now, if we can bring this law into our own life and go, this is what I want. I get clear on it. I write it down. I visualize it. I get into, the actions of creating it, and I put out the energy of gratitude, I'm telling the universe that it's done. And then we can flow on to the other laws where we go, there's no resistance. I let go of it into the universe. I know that like attracts like. So whatever I'm putting out there, I know is going to come back to me. I know that the universe is infinitely abundant. So I am not going to put an expectation on how this is going to come to me, no matter how much it costs or however my brain thinks it's too much for me. No, I trust. And I know that everything is connected. So I know that the universe is going to work its magic to get it to me. So gratitude. Then the next law is the law of inner wisdom. Now, to me, this is that trusting and following our inner guidance, our inner intuition. We have been gifted with this. It is a fact. It is a law. It is what it is. You are and have awareness. You were born with intuition. You were born with senses, with your spirit senses that can help you navigate life, that can guide you to what it is that you want, to create what you want to create, to call to you the things that you desire, to live your life purpose and to connect into your soul purpose. So using the law of inner sight, if you can tap into that and just know that it is a fact, you are and can tap into your spirit senses, awareness and intuition that can guide you. And with those senses, you will get to the place where you need to go and meet the people you need to meet and create the things that you desire. The 7th law is a law of inner sight. This is visualization. This is the law that states that what you see in your mind will manifest outside of your body. All right. So vividly picturing your desires will create the outcomes. So what you see on the inside of your head will be reflected in your body and your emotions and in your outside world. Now, an example of how visualizing can actually affect the physical world is if I ask you to visualize a lemon and I ask you to visualize biting into that lemon. Most people will have a very visceral, very real experience where they can feel your neck and your mouth kind of just pull together and tense up, and your mouth will start watering, and it just becomes this very physical experience. But the thing is that there's no lemon near you. The law of inner sight is the one with its visual. It tells us that whatever you create inside of your mind will become and affect your reality on the outside. Then we look at the eighth law, the law of thought creation. Then we're coming into your thoughts create your reality, right? So every thought you entertain has a potential to manifest into reality. So when we talk about positive thoughts, you focus on positive things will come back to you. And on the flip side of that, you've got negative thoughts. And if you create negative thoughts and you constantly think about negative things, or you constantly think about pain, or you're constantly thinking about drama, that's what you're going to bring in. And that's a fact. It is scientifically proven as well. You know, you send those frequencies out. Your thoughts are electric. It sends an electrical current into the universe. And if you look at law number 1, where everything is connected, you're sending those signals out into the universe via this electric current, and it's just going to come straight back to you. Then we can move on to the law of emotional alignment. So these are our emotions, right? Emotions are vibrations. Your emotions and your emotional state will influence your manifestations. So if you can raise your vibration, you can have happy emotions, that feeling in your body, if you can raise that up as high as possible and you can stay in that state, your emotions becomes the magnet that draws it to you. And then the next law is the law of inspired action. So taking action, because we can't just think about it. We have to actually do something. You have to follow your inner sight. You have to follow that intuition and the guidance that will take you to where you need to be. This is the action. This is where it comes together, where you step out and you go and do the things that you need to do. So you get up in the morning and, for instance, you post on Facebook to get more awareness, okay? Or you follow your intuition when it says, call this person because they're going to know something. Then you call the person and then they pick up the phone and they say, I know exactly who I need to connect you with so that you can create your desire. That's how the universe and all these laws come together. And then the 11th one is the law of belief. So this then kind of ties it back into and says that, belief is a story. And if we can override these beliefs that people have given us or these stories that we've created about ourselves, and we can believe the 10 laws that come ahead of the last law, the law of belief, it means that you can just trust that and it will help eliminate all these stories that we create in ourselves. Now, through awareness and intuition, you'll be able to recognize where these beliefs lie. And then you can just sit with it and you can just, a simple question that you can ask yourself is you can see what that belief is. And then you can ask yourself, is this an absolute truth? Is this true? And you will find and see that belief that you hold within yourself or what other people have impressed on you is not the truth. It's not an absolute truth. Therefore, we can let that go and we can go, these are the laws of the universe. These are the laws of abundance. And it says that everything is connected. The universe is infinitely abundant. Like attract like, letting go of the universe, right? Be grateful for it. I have the inner wisdom to know the inner guidance, right? We've got the inner sight as the visualization to see these things. And then the law of thought creation and the law of emotional alignment, the emotions, and then the law of inspired action. So as I sit with this and I go through all of this, I'm wondering how this is going to play out in my own life. How can I, and will it work if I take these and I start trusting them as absolute law, knowing that the universe is infinite, knowing that there is enough abundance for everybody. So yeah, I know I've gone down this massive rabbit hole with this, but I thought that I wanted to share it with you, and I would love to hear what you think about this. Now, I've never heard anybody talk about this in this way. So for me, this is a whole new concept. And the question remains is, can I take these 11 laws and make them an absolute truth and start rehearsing them and start programming myself into believing these as if I had just joined a spiritual religion. And this is the only way that I can really talk about it, because we know when you go into the church, they have their own, processes and belief systems. But what if we can take these laws of abundance and we can just make it our own? And just go, I know and trust the universe will always sort things out. I know that it is coming to me. I know that it is created. I know that I'm connected to the universe. I know that there's infinite abundance out there. So my lack mindset, or the limiting belief, or the belief that money is evil, all of that gets washed away, because the law says the universe is infinitely abundant and I am part of the universe. Therefore, I am abundant. So this is me, and this is what I'm going to do for myself. And then I'm going to test this and see where this goes. I want to see what the outcome is going to be. I want to see whether it can override limiting beliefs that I don't even know that I have. So instead of going out and worrying about it, I'm just going to unequivocally trust that these laws are laws and they are as they are, and I am that. Now, this podcast is definitely going to air a day or so later than it usually airs, because I have now gone and created a PDF with the 11 laws on it that breaks them down. And I've also created 7 affirmations or statements around each law that I can use for myself to just start instilling these laws within my being and into my energy. And I first was just going to do it for myself, but I'm now going to create a PDF that you can download with the laws, with the statements, so that if you want to take this ride with me and you want to see if you can integrate these laws as laws and fact and truth into your life, then I've got the guide for you to get you started. A PDF with the 11 laws, and then 77 affirmations that will be in there for each one of those that you can take and start using. So if you want it, there will be a link in the show notes, and you can just go and download it there and start using them immediately. If this podcast has got you thinking, or it's inspired you or moved you in some way, share it with the world, share it with your friends, share it with your family, get the message out there, because if we can support each other on this beautiful sacred journey to make things better, to achieve our goals better, to just find ways of tweaking little processes and sharing tips with each other, and it can help us grow and evolve and develop and just start living the life that we deserve and desire, then this is the way that we can do it. Share it with your friends and family, put it on Facebook, put it on Instagram, copy it over onto YouTube, whatever it is that you want to do, but share it with the world. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you can take like 2 seconds and you want to rate the show, that will help get the message out there as well. Take care, beautiful soul. Happy manifesting, and let me know how you go with the PDF download, the statements, and how it feels. Because right now, I am feeling pretty darn fantastic. I feel good about this inner wisdom, this guidance, this little nudge, this little nugget of gold that I received when I sat down on my meditation cushion in the morning. And now I've just run with it. And there's just something about this. There's a knowing within me that it just feels like it's going to make a massive difference. So share it with the world, integrate it into your own life if it resonates with you. And I'll catch you on the next episode. Thank you for joining me on the Spiritual AI podcast. Don't forget to rate and share the show with your friends. It will only take a few seconds. So go ahead, go and rate the show, share it with a friend, spread the message of the power that we hold within each one of us, our awareness and our intuition. Let's create a revolution. Let's change the world. I'll see you next time.